with reference to the series of lecture videos on Introduction to Financial Management. Today we will be discussing on the concept of valuation, which predominantly known as time value of money. See class, with reference to Introduction to Financial Management, there will be a list of videos which will be coming up, a series of videos will be coming up, various chapters which we have in financial management. We will be discussing about the basic concept of the particular chapter, and followed by that we will try to solve few numeric examples relating to a particular chapter under the subject Introduction to Financial Management. Before we start on with the chapter on time value of money, we require to understand what the concept means, what time value of money actually mean. Now the statement says that money has a time value. Now money has a time value in the sense, it means to say that with reference to period, with reference to time period, the value of money falls. Now how it happens? Now I'll give an example. If I have 100 rupees 5 years before, with the 100 rupee I used to buy certain number of apples. Say for example I've gone to a municipal bazaar to purchase some apples. So with 100 rupees I have purchased, say for example 10 apples. I'm talking of 5 years before. 5 years hence, again I went to the same municipal bazaar to buy apple. With reference to, again I have 100 rupees. I'm not getting the same number of apples. Rather I'm getting only less number of apples compared to last time when I got 10 apples. It means what? It means, because see, the money remains same. 100 rupees remains same. It means to say that the value of money, the purchasing power of money, the value of money in the sense the purchasing power of rupee 1 or rupees 100 over a period has gone down. That is what the concept of time value of money means. Now why time value of money is important with respect for the point of view financial management? It is important from the point of view of financial management is just because, see, businesses do certain form of investment such that they earn a certain amount of return in future. So always they will look forward to have higher rate of interest earned from that particular investment. So if they are investing as on date, they are not going to get the money immediately. So it might take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and even more than 20 years to get those money back. Now they also require to estimate the fact that since the value of money is falling, they also have to take into consideration the time value of money when they are planning the maturity amount, say after 10 years. So that is the reason why we say time value of money is very, very important. So it says that the value of money changes over a period of time. The value of a rupee received today is different from the value of a rupee to be received after a year. A rupee today has more value than after a year. So in the chapter with respect to the concept of valuation, time value of money is one of the most important concepts. So the next topic comes is what are the various valuation concepts or techniques. So valuation concepts or techniques can be classified under two broad heads. Number one is compound value concept. Compound value concept. And the second one, the second classification is termed as discounted or present value concept. So there are broadly two methods which has been highlighted. There are two ways of two techniques of rather concept of valuation. One is compound value concept and the second one is discounted or present value concept. So we require to understand. So what we are going to do today with respect to compound value concept, we will have one video. And with reference to discounted or present value concept, we will have another separate video. Now, what this means? Now, please understand, compound value concept means to say what it means. Now, technically, we will use certain words here. PV, FV. Now, what it means? PV means present value, These are terms which we are going to use in this chapter. PV means present value. FV means future value. PV means present value. FV means future value. Occasionally, if you have done mathematics, simple interest, compound interest, this is what the concept is. Present value is basically the principal in mathematics. Why, if you do mathematics like compound interest, simple interest, PV refers to the present value, and FV refers to the future value, which in mathematics will term it as an amount. So you will find this particular term has been named as a principal, and this is what is been termed as a amount. So what we here what we use in financial management, we use the term PV with reference to present value and FV with reference to future value. So present value is current principal which we are investing, and future value refers to the value which we are going to receive in future. So these are the two most important terms which we are going to use. So what I said, concept of valuation talks about two important concepts or techniques. One is a compound value concept, another is a discounted or present value concept. So we will discuss about what is a compound value concept, and thereafter we will discuss about what I mean by discounted or present value concept in the next video. So let's talk about or discuss about what is a compound value concept. Now, to explain about a compound value, we also require to understand, what is this difference between a simple interest and a compound interest. So we are going to discuss about a compound value concept. Compound value concept. Now, if you have already studied, you might also know that this compound, there is also known as something like a simple interest, and there is a concept known as compound interest. So there are two concepts. One is a simple interest, or there is a compound interest. So simple interest and a compound interest. Now, simple interest, you are aware of that the interest is normally given on the principal. So interest, in the sense, the interest is only given on the principal. What is compound interest? Compound interest, the interest is given on the principal, but even the interest component is also added with the principal amount to calculate the next year interest. So you haven't understood? So let's take an example. So what is the example? Example is, say for example, we have invested rupees 1000. Let's say an example. The interest is at the rate 10%. So let's see after 3 years how much we get. If we are calculating via simple interest, if you remember, you might have studied this, PTR by 100. So we say that P into time period into rate divided by 100. So this gives me how much? Principal is, say, 1000 rupees into, I said for 3 years, so let's take it as for 3 years. So it's 3, and the rate is how much we said? 10%. So 0.10, or else you can write 10 by 100, no issues. You can write either 0.10, or else if you have to do it by 100, so divided by 100. So we are talking about from the point of view of simple interest. Now simple interest, now let's talk about how we calculate the thing. So we got 1000 into 3 into 10 divided by 100. So 1000 into 3 into 10 divided by 100 is 300. So 300 is what? 300 is basically the interest we have earned. 300 is basically, so what we are going to write here? So we are going to write, it's the interest which you have earned. PTR by 100, 1000 into 3 into 10 divided by 100. So 300 rupees is basically the interest. So therefore, after 3 years, the amount will be, how much you are going to receive? The amount will be the principal amount, 1000 plus 300, which is the interest. So the total amount comes to 1,300. This is what the concept of a simple interest. So in simple interest, what we have done? So what is simple interest? So we are basically discussing about the compound value concept. We'll be discussing about the compound. Before that, we want to discuss about the simple interest concept. And then we will discuss about the compound value concept. Now what is simple interest? Simple interest is an interest which is normally given on the principal. Straightway. So we had an investment of rupees 1,000 for a time span of 3 years, a 10% interest. So we calculated the interest, PTR by 100. This is a particular formula which you might have studied in school level. So 1000 into 3 into 10%. I can write 0.10 also. I haven't written, so I've written 10 by 100. So it's coming 300. So amount is equal to 1000 plus 300 is 1300. Now this which we have calculated, this calculation has been done based on simple interest. Now, so please remember, so the amount is 1300. Now let's talk about with reference to compound interest. Now in compound interest, say for first year. For first year, your principal was 1000 rupees and you are getting 10%. So if you are getting 1000 rupees as a principal for first year and it's 10%, that means the interest component is 10 by 1000 into 10 by 100. So it's 100 rupees. Just know 1000 into 10 by 100. So 20 cut 100 rupees. 100 rupees is what? 100 rupees is the interest. Now when you are discussing for the second year, now what happens? As per the compound interest, compounding concepts, it says that the next year it will be principal plus interest which you have earned in the first year into 10%. Which means 1000 plus 100, which is 1100 into 10%. I hope this concept is clear. So for the third year, so how much this is coming? So let's discuss from the point of view of the calculator. So how much we have got? So it's 1000 plus 100, so 1100 into 10% into 10 divided by 100. So it's 110. 110 is the interest component. So next year, third year, it will be 1100 plus 110 into 10%. So how much it comes down? So 1100 plus 110, which comes to that this principal is coming 1210 into 10 divided by 100. It's coming 121. Therefore, your final amount after 3 years will be 1210, this amount, plus 121. So we have got this as equal to 121 plus 1210, which is rupees 1331. Now if you check with reference to the last example which we have done, it was coming to 1300, and here we have got 1331. Now what it means? So please understand this concept. So first year, so if you remember, we invested 1000 rupees and it was for 3 years and I was getting an interest of 10%. We calculated simple interest. In simple interest, we got at the end of the third year, we will be getting 1300. But this time around, we are using the concept, we are using the valuation concept, compounding valuation concept. So we are using the concept of compound interest. So what happened? 1000 rupees invested for the first year into 10% gives me 100 rupees as interest. In the second year, principal and interest is taken together and is compounded again with 10%. So it's coming 1100 into 10%, which comes the interest 110. So again, this component gets added with the principal. So 1100 plus the interest which you have earned in the second year which is 110, it's added up into 10%, gives me again the interest at the end of the third year. So as per the example I said, I will be the maturity amount will be at the end of the third year. So at the end of the third year, the amount will be, or the future value, I will not say the amount, or I might say this as the future value. You can also write amount, not an issue. The future value will be the principal amount as standing on the third year opening, 1,210 plus 121, which comes down to rupees 1331. So I hope the difference between simple interest and compound interest is clear. So naturally compounding will give me a higher maturity amount compared to that of a simple interest. So what compounding value concept means? We already have gone through an example. It says in the future value, I said there are two components. Now, what is the present value? Another is a component of future value. It says the future value means the amount of money and investment will grow to over some period of time at some given interest, like the interest was 10%. In other words, a future value is basically the cash value of an investment at some time in future. The process of putting your money or any accumulated interest, if you remember, accumulated interest was adding up on an investment for more than a period, that means we have done for 3 years, thereby reinvesting the interest. If you remember, 110 was invested again, 120 was invested again. The interest component was adding with the principal. So reinvesting the accumulated interest on an investment for more than a period and thereby reinvesting the interest is called compounding. Now compounding, now say for example, a last problem we did, it was only for 3 years. And for 3 years it was easy for us to calculate. Per year we are trying to find out the interest. We are adding the interest with the principal for the second year, and again applying the formula. We are getting the interest for the second year. We are taking the interest of the second year, again adding it up with the principal for the third year, and thereby we are doing. But what happens when this time span is more? Say for example 5 years. 5 years is possible, 6 years, 10 years. Then it becomes difficult. Then how we do? Then we use a formula. What is the formula? Formula says the future value will be equal to the present value into 1 plus I to the power n. Now we need to understand this. Future value is equal to present value, bracket, the first bracket, 1 plus I refers to, so what it means? So future value means, FV means future value, this we know. PV means present value. What is I? Is the interest. And what is N? The number of years. The number of years for maturity. So this is what the concept is. The future value is equal to present value into 1 plus I to the power n. Now let's take an example. The same example which we do. For say for example for 3 years we have tried to calculate the compound and it came down to 1331 if you remember. So let's do. So present value is how much? Present value is 1000 rupees. Bracket 1 plus I was 10%, so 0.10, 10 by 100, 10%, 10% I can write 10 by 100 into, the power 3. So I require a calculator again to solve this. So I came back to a calculator again. So what I do? 1000 into, there's a bracket. So I've gone to 1000 into, so I've taken the first bracket. This is 1.1. So this is, so I've gone to the first bracket, 1.1 to the power 3. So again I have to give a bracket. This to the power, you can use this. To the power, I can go back 3. This is what the thing is. So it's giving me 1331. It's the same calculations which we did. 1331. rupees. The same calculation which we did in a different way. So irrespective of the fact, now if anybody asks me that this N is for 10 years, so I need not need to do the same problem the way which we have did last time. So I will use this particular formula directly, and I put this as 10, and it gives me that it will be rupees, your maturity amount will be 2593.74 paisa. So I hope it's clear that this is a particular formula which we use. See, for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, even 4 years, we can calculate in that particular way which we have did last time. But if n or the number of years, it's more than, say for example 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 years given, it's not possible to calculate in such a way. So it's preferable that you use this kind of a formula. So future value is equal to present value, bracket 1 plus I to the power n, where I refers to the interest, n refers to the number of years it is being compounded, FV is the future value or the amount. This is the principal or the present value. Next, let's take another example. Now, say for example, there are two investment opportunities which is given. So option A, option B. So there are two options which has been given. You have been asked to invest, say 1 lakh here, and you have got an option of investing 1,50,000 here. So this is the investment amount or the present value. Interest is giving 10%, they are giving 15%. Since the principal is higher, they also are giving it for a 15%. And time, so this is for, say for example 5 years, and this is for 2 years. And you have been asked to calculate and find out what is the future value, what will be the future value. I've invested 1 lakh in option A and 1 lakh in option B, and there is varied interest rate like 10% and 15%, and the time period is for 5 years and 2 years. So again, if I require to calculate, you could have used the other formula, but I will always prefer to use a calculator. So let's talk about option A. So let's talk about option A. So 1 lakh invested 1 lakh invested at 10% for 5 years. So 1 lakh, if you remember the formula, PV bracket 1 plus I interest. So into, I put the first bracket. So 1, this is 10% matlab 0.10, so 1.1 again to the power is how much? 5 years. So I put it as 5 years. So it's giving me that after 5 years 1 lakh at 10% compounding will give me 1,61,051. I also have an option 2. And what is the option 2? Option 2 is, say for example, the option 2 which has been given is 1,50,000. 1,50,000. Now this is invested at 15% into, so I go back to first bracket, so it's 1.15 because 15% is 0.15, so 1 plus 0.15 is 1.15 to the power, for how many years? For 2 years. So I come back, sorry, for 2 years, and it's giving me 1,98,375. So I hope it's clear with respect to, if I have various investment options, interest rate I am aware of, and the time tenure for the investment which required to be done, if I am aware of, I can calculate future value with reference to option A and option B, or the various kind of investments which have been given. Now we also require to understand that this all options which has been given, investment options has been given, the interest was paid yearly. We were saying 10% was paid yearly or 15% was paid yearly. Now what if there's a concept which is known as multiple compounding period? Multiple compounding period. Now what is multiple compounding period? What I mean by the term multiple compounding period, you might find that I might pay you interest yearly. Yes, this is what we were doing. I might even pay you interest half yearly. I might even pay you interest quarterly. If you go to post office, say for example, just giving an example, post office, and you made an investment like senior citizen investment and others, you get interest paid quarterly. You could opt for yearly also, but you can also get interest quarterly. So it can be paid yearly, half yearly, quarterly. Now I need to understand, if it's half yearly means 2 times interest will be paid during the year, 2 times. In quarterly, 4 times the interest will be paid. It's the same interest which will be paid. But we have to understand, will the maturity amount differs in case of yearly, half yearly as well as quarterly. So let's understand that in multiple compounding period, which we said as say half yearly or quarterly, what is the formula which we apply? Now there's a change in the formula a bit. What is the formula we apply? We said again, future value will be equal to present values. The formula remains same, into 1 plus, now here the changes, I divided by m to the power n into m. Now we have to understand what this m is. M refers to the number of times per year the compounding is made. So if it is half yearly, that interest is given half yearly, then m will be 2. If the interest is given quarterly, then m will be equal to 4. Quarterly means to say, if I have a accounting year from April to March next year, so April, May, June, first quarter, July, August, September, second quarter, so December, next quarter ends, March, next quarter ends. So we have 4 quarters, half yearly, 6 months, 6 months. So this is the formula which we use. So PV is equal to 1 plus divided by m in bracket n into m. N refers to the time period, m refers to the number of times the interest being given or compounded within that same year. Now let's take one example. Now I'm looking forward to invest a certain sum of money. Let's talk about a case. I'm thinking about investing. Rupees 1 lakh. I'm thinking about investing rupees 1 lakh. And let's make it uniform. The interest, just a dummy example, the interest being given is 10%, and the time is 3 years. So this is what the thing is. So I made a fixed deposit. Of rupees 1 lakh. Interest is 10% and time is 3 years. Now I'm thinking of approaching so I might approach, say for example, Yes Bank. Who is giving interest, but yearly concept. That means once. Interest is given yearly. I went to Axis Bank. Now taking into consideration no change here. All banks give the same interest rate, say for example, and the maximum time 10 years for 3 years. They give me half yearly. And I went to, say for example, post office also. Post office is also a place where I can make a certain investment, and they are giving me a quarterly. Now if I calculate future value with reference to this particular problem, if I try to calculate the future value, then what I get? So the formula what I apply? I will apply here that future value will be equal to present value bracket 1 plus I to the power n, the same formula which we were applying. So it will be here, my present value is how much? My present value is rupees 1 lakh, bracket 1 plus I is 0.10 to the power 3. So I require again the use of a calculator. So I calculate again. So it's 1 lakh. So 1 lakh into 1.1. So I use the bracket into put the bracket 1.1. Again I close the bracket to the power. It's 3. So to the power will be 3, and it gives me an amount of 1,33,100. 1,33,100 as the maturity amount, the future value. Now let's talk about half yearly. Now half yearly, half yearly where m will be equal to 2. So what will be the amount? It will be 1 lakh bracket 1 plus 0.10 divided by 2 in power, it will be 3 into 2, m into n, 3 into 2. So if you have doubt, you can also make it like this. 0.10 divided by 2 is 0.005. So I will take 1.05 to the power 3 into 2 is 6. So I will calculate in that way. So I will take 1 lakh into, so I take the first bracket, it's 1 plus 0.05. So what I can write? 1.05 bracket to the power how much? 6 gives me 1,34,009. This is for Axis Bank. Now let's talk about something like, say, with reference to post office. Now post office calculation, how we are going to do? Post office was giving quarterly where m is equal to 4. So if I make the post office calculation, if I make the investment in the post office, so it will be 1 lakh into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 4. Why 4? Because it's quarterly, and power will be what? Power will be for 3 years into quarterly with 4. So if I directly calculate this, if I start calculating this, so 1 lakh 0.1 into 4 will be 0.025 into, so I put the bracket, so I put it 1.025 bracket close to the power 4 3s are 12. It's giving me 1,34,488. Now if you compare, now let's compare. So what I did, I made an investment with Yes Bank, Axis Bank, Post Office. I can make an investment, and I made an investment for rupees 1 lakh, interest 10% for time period for 3 years. Now see the amount. I'm getting 1,33,100 for as a future value if I invest in Yes Bank, yearly interest, more in case of half yearly Axis Bank. And if I give it quarterly, and if I get the interest quarterly, I'm getting further 1,34,000. Where there's a difference, huge difference. Now why it happens? It is happening because quarterly means to say I'm earning the interest every 3 months. So every 3 months the interest which I'm earning, it's getting added with the principal, because that's the concept of compounding. It's getting added with the principal, and thereby principal plus interest, the amount is more, and when again you charge interest against it for the next 3 months, again it will be on a higher side. That is the reason why the principal is high. So to summarize, what all things we have discussed? We discussed when the interest is paid yearly, compounding I'm talking about, simple interest is very easy. Compounding, when the interest is paid yearly, we have shown you the calculation where future value was equal to present value bracket 1 plus I to the power n. Then we said that if it is half yearly or quarterly, we have changed the formula and we have tried to solve. So present value plus 1 plus I by m into n into m. And we say that, okay, if it is quarterly, if the interest is paid quarterly, then the principal, the future value will be highest compared to if you paid maybe yearly. Next class, we'll move into the next part of, if you have, see here we talked about only one investment into consideration. Now we can have multiple investment into consideration under the concept of compounding value concept. So next class, in the next video, I said there will be at least 4 or 5 videos with respect to a particular chapter. For time value of money, we might have 3 to 4 videos. So this is time value of money part 1. So we will be having a time value of money part 2, where we will be discussing the next set of how we apply the concept of compounding in today's world. Thank you.